Okay guys, this is Todd Frizzell again, and what we're going to do is we are going to do a very special TNA pay-per-view review, and it is going to be of TNA's pay-per-view, which just concluded tonight, and that was Genesis. TNA Genesis was live on pay-per-view, and let's go ahead and start with the review from the beginning. We started out with the X Division Championship. This match was Kazarian versus Jay Lethal. Very good opener. Nice way to start off the show. Went about 7 minutes or so. Nice back and forth action. Maybe even closer to 10. Um, Not 100% positive, but anyway, I really enjoyed the match. A few nice dives by Jay Lethal to the outside, even a moonsault off the ring apron. Nice work by Kaz as well. Decent psychology in the match here. Far from a spot fest. So I really enjoyed everything that went on here, and in the end, I think they may have botched the finish. I think Kaz may have tried to shove the ref into the ropes to crotch Lethal and then hit the inverted pile driver, or the reverse pile driver rather, but he just kind of shoved the ref back. But either way, Kazarian's the new champion. My prediction was correct, and I look forward to seeing what he does with the belt. I'd give this opener 3.5 stars. Very enjoyable. Next up, we had the TNA Knockout Championship match, and this was Madison Rayne versus Mickie James. And I was pretty disappointed with this match. I wasn't expecting that much. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be a great match, but I expected a little more. It was very slow paced. Madison Rayne actually dominated most of the match, which was kind of shocking. Um, and then in the end, after about 5 minutes or so of rather dull action, a few comebacks by Mickie, but it was still pretty dull. Nothing compared to the matches that Mickie and Tara had. Then in the end, Tara's music plays. She comes to the ring to distract Mickie. Madison hits Mickie in the face with a loaded glove, MMA glove, and gets the win. So I was definitely expecting Mickie to win the title. She didn't win that here. So I guess this will probably. I don't think they're going to go back to Tara and Mickie feuding again, but I think Madison and Mickie will have a rematch next month where Mickie will win the belt. So I guess they don't have an overly high amount of knockouts, so they should probably keep it going for another month. That's not a horrible idea. But it was a rather dull match. I'd only give it, about I'd give it 1.5 stars, being generous. Okay, next we have. Well, first of all, we had a segment backstage which talked about how AJ was injured with his kid, and Bischoff was really mad about it. Says, "Who cares about your kid? This is about Immortal." So he couldn't face Douglas Williams. Very disappointing, because that's what I thought would have been the match of the night, the match I was most looking forward to. But anyway, we go on. We have the Motor City Machine Guns take on Beer Money. Typical match, tons of back and forth action, a bit more psychology in this match than we've seen from these two teams in the past. Beer Money dominated most of the match, and the commentators, Mike, Tenay, and Taz, actually related this back to the beatdown Beer Money received, or I'm sorry, the Motor City Machine Guns received at the hands of Beer Money on Impact, so that beatdown really caught up with them, and that was nice psychology intertwined there. Great match, up to par with any other match they've ever done. Great wrestling action. Tons of nice near falls, false finishes. Finally, in the what you would expect from the teams, pretty much a carbon copy of what they've done in the past, with, like I said, a bit more dominance by Beer Money and psychology. And then in the end, Sabin accidentally gives the Yakuza kick to Robert. Well, he goes to hit Rude with the Yakuza kick and accidentally connects with Sabin. Then Rude gets a quick roll up. Beer Money wins the belts, as I expected. Maybe even hinting towards, I don't know, we didn't see any tension yet, but I'd love to see another Shelly Sabin feud. That would be a nice undercard feud that I'd look forward to seeing. Backstage, Devon cuts a promo on Bubba, which leads us into the Bully Ray versus Brother Devon match. They start by doing a little thing where Brother Ray holds SoCal Val in front of him, and then she slaps him, and Devon goes after him. They fight in the crowd a little bit, hit each other with a few drinks from the crowd, and Devon actually used a fan's shoe. And then they finally get it back into the ring, battle back and forth, and I have to say, for the position these two were put in, being in a one-on-one situation at this point in their career, they look very good. It wasn't boring. It kept moving along. They did a nice spot where Devon jumped off the middle rope and Bubba caught him with a Bubba cutter. Nice, entertaining stuff here. Only went about, oh geez, I don't know, um, 7 minutes or so. But I really liked it for what it accomplished. I mean, it was okay filler action, and in the end, Devon started whipping brother Bully Ray, I should say, with a chain, which caused for the DQ, and the security had to separate them from fighting. Brother Ray catches Devon in the nuts with a kick to the testicles, and they finish it that way. Just as I expected, some sort of a DQ or no finish. Devon was DQ'd, which will probably set up some sort of a no disqualification street fight, maybe a Dudleyville street fight or a tables match at Against All Odds, and then I'd say someone runs away from that and we get the final match between the two at Lockdown when they are inside the cage and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So next we go backstage and Jarrett runs down Kurt Angle and talks about how there's going to be 3 2-minute rounds, which was very disappointing when I heard that because I was expecting a classic here. But next we had the TV title match. Well, first of all, before we get to that, the Bubba Ray versus Devon matchup would probably get 2.5 stars. But we go to Douglas Williams and Abyss. 10 minutes here, pretty dull. I was really looking forward to seeing Doug and AJ, but AJ's injured. And I think this, on a competitive match quality standpoint, this hurt the pay-per-view quite a bit, in my opinion. This could have brought the whole pay-per-view's rating up a whole star if these two guys would have gone out there and put on a 3 3/4 star, 4-star match as they're capable of. Similar to the Beer Money Motor City Machine Gun match on this night, which I would give 3 3/4 stars. But, I mean, people get injured. What do you do? Back and forth, typical action. Pretty much the same match they had on Impact, just standard formulaic stuff, and just drawn out a bit longer. AJ came out at the end, hit Douglas in the head with the title belt. Abyss got the black hole slam, won the belt. Looks like AJ, since he's injured, I don't know if they're going to put his face turn on hold, but they gave the belt to Abyss, which was probably completely impromptu, and we're just going to have to wait and see where the storyline goes from here. But I'm very disappointed that happened, because I really looked forward to seeing AJ possibly turn face, but what do? Then again, maybe he wouldn't have turned face, because if Abyss got the belt, that probably meant that AJ was originally going to get the belt. So, either way, I think he's going to turn face eventually, but maybe it wasn't the time. Maybe that was just a swerve there. But nevertheless, we're never going to know what they originally intended, and we're going to have to wait and find out. Rob Van Dam, mystery opponent. Bischoff says it's a Hardy. The rumors are true. It's Matt Hardy. Rob Van Dam versus Matt Hardy. Love this. This was a big pop from the crowd for Hardy here. Very exciting. In relatively well-kept surprise, although there were slight rumors earlier. I really enjoyed this, and I pretty much knew it was Matt Hardy after they announced that it wouldn't be Abyss because he was going to face Williams. But, Hardy didn't look on top of the game. He looked a little out of shape, had a little ring rust, but I think he'll come around and get back into shape. He just hasn't been wrestling for a while. Decent match here. Nothing over the top. I'd probably give it about 2 3/4 stars. And by the way, the match before this, Abyss and Williams, I'd probably give it 2 3/4 stars as well. But in the end, RVD ended up winning, Matt Hardy ended up winning, and we saw a 5-star frog splash from Van Dam get a 2 count after Hardy put his foot under the bottom rope, and the ref called for the break, and then we saw the same thing happen when Hardy hit the twist of fate, or the twist of hate rather, and then Van Dam had his foot under the ropes, but the ref didn't call for it. Jackson James, as Bischoff's son, is going to turn heel. So that's just more hinting with that. Then we had Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett. Disappointing here. They were just toying around with the MMA stuff, with the 3 2-minute rounds, whatever. And then in the end, Jarrett ended up just bloodying up Angle and said he's going to go to Impact with 3 people there, and probably means Kurt, him, and his wife. 2 stars here, nothing much, but I think they could have done this stuff on Impact to set up for a pay-per-view match, but again, they only have 2 hours a week, so it's permissible. Very good main event, 3.5 stars. Anderson defeated Morgan, had to face Hardy right then and there. He actually defeated Hardy, won the world title. Very shocking there. Loved that swerve, and it was really exciting overall. I'd probably give this 6.5 out of 10. A few disappointing matches, but I really love the storylines.